Welcome back to CordcuttersLI, where we help to save you money on your cable bill. Well, Walmart just released their all-new ON 4K Pro streaming box at the price of $49.88. That's 150% higher than their standard 4K streaming box released just last year, which sells for $19.88. So it begs the question, what do you get for that large jump in price? Well, the short answer, a ton. In the weeks and months leading up to this product's release, every streaming-related YouTube channel out there, except this one, speculated on what some of those upgrades might be. Now that it's here, it's safe to say none of them guessed all of the amazing improvements Walmart had in store for this new Pro model. So in this video, I'm going to show you and explain all the major improvements this new Pro box has over the standard one. This is a long list, but this video will be short and sweet. No muss, no fuss, no greasy aftertaste. So if you're ready to see if it's worth upgrading to the all-new ON 4K Pro streaming box from Walmart just 1 year after their last release, sit back, relax, and let's go. All right, so the new features for the ON 4K Pro streaming device from Walmart are not in any particular order here in this video. That is going to rely on, what's more important for you, so you can kind of jump around. Feel free to fast forward, rewind through the video to look at the feature that you might be interested in. The first one I'm going to talk about is something they haven't done yet before, and that is the hands-free Google Assistant. Okay, so the hands-free Google Assistant setting is not on by default. So let's go into the gear. We'll go into settings. I'll tell you how to get to that. Go down to privacy, and then go down to Google Assistant. And this one is probably already going to be checked where it says voice control. This is the one where you'll push the button to do whatever. But if you move down here to where it says hands-free mic and click on that. So it says you're all set. You can now talk to Google Assistant hands-free. And go ahead and click done. So back to the home page. If we want to do something like, let's say, hey Google, play Squid Game on Netflix. It'll go ahead and bring you right there. You can also do things like ask it for the weather and so on. Hey Google, what's the weather in Boston today?
Tonight in Boston, the forecast is around 56 and partly cloudy.
Or something silly like, hey Google, tell me a joke.
How did the barber win the race? He knew a shortcut.
Yeah, I didn't say they were good jokes. More on the hands-free thing when I talk about another feature coming up in a minute. But the next one I want to talk about is the remote finder. So this is kind of cool. It has a button on the front. So if you just go ahead and click on the button, the remote, wherever it is in the room, or maybe not even in the room, will start beeping and the little red light will flash as well until you press any of the buttons on the remote, and that will stop it. So this is a new feature that I think I'm going to use quite a bit. You could also tell it to find your remote. Now that we've enabled the hands-free Google Assistant, let's try that. Hey Google, find my remote. So there it is. Hopefully you can hear that. And as you see, the red light is blinking. The next feature is something they haven't put on any of the other devices as well, and that is this little star button. I don't know if you can see that clearly there, that little star button right there. You press on that, and this can be set up to a shortcut to do anything. You can either open up a favorite app, or you can use this to do what the old school button in that spot used to do, and that is to select the input for your TV. But we can now add any app to this, and I'm going to pick that option. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and choose Wolf Launcher, which is something that does work very, very well on this device, and all Android and Google TV devices for that matter. So that's that, and create shortcut. It says your shortcut was created. So now when we hit that star button, it opens up Wolf Launcher, no problem. Gets rid of all those ads on the home screen and so on and so forth. You're all probably familiar with Wolf Launcher, but if you aren't, I have a video I've done on this. I'll put a link in the description. Go ahead and check that out. The next feature I'm going to gloss over a little bit because it's, not the greatest of features, but it is a feature nonetheless, and that is that it comes with a built-in 10100 megabit Ethernet port. Again, it is what it is. It's not 1 gigabit, which a lot of people were looking forward to, but we really didn't even know that we were going to get an Ethernet port on this device, and I guess 10100 is better than none at all. More on that in just a minute. Okay, so the next feature is a Type A USB slot, and it's not just USB, it's USB 3.0, which is a big improvement over any of the previous models. Very few streaming devices at all come with a full-size Type A USB 3.0 port. So I was very happy to see this. The word on the street, however, is that it only supports FAT32. So, for example, if you were to throw a bunch of movies, a bunch of 4K movies, larger than 4 gigabytes, you wouldn't be able to read them on this device. So, I figured I'd put this to the test. So, I have a SanDisk USB 256 that I have put 2 4K movies on. One of them is almost 11 gigabytes in size, and the other one's over 6.5 gigs. So let's see what happens when we plug this in. I have formatted this exFAT, like I said, and I've just done nothing but copy 2 files to it, 2 large 4K Ultra HD movies to it. So let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. So it says checking USB drive, analyzing media storage. Let's see if we get any errors at all. So that just went away. That's promising. Let's hold in the home button now. It says USB drive, select to set up. So the options are eject, erase and format as device storage, and then you can actually go into the storage and see what's available and stuff. So those are your options when you connect this device. I'm not going to do either of these. I don't want to eject it. I want to see if I can find those movies and play them. And I certainly don't want to erase and format the device. That would certainly format the device in FAT32 and not exFAT. I'm certain of that. So let's just hit the home button. And now let me open up. I put VLC Media Player on this earlier. It's a free app available in the Google Play Store. And let's see if that movie will be found. It says new external storage detected. Let's go ahead and click yes and see if it can add these movies to my library. So it looks like it did find them, and let's see if it plays. It sure does. So that's a good thing. I have to blur the content, obviously, but let me go ahead and fast forward through this. 10 minutes, 15 minutes in. Yep. This seems to be working just fine. Let me go out and try that other movie. Fast forward a bit in there. Let's go 5 minutes in. Yep, no problem at all. Again, I do have to blur the content, but trust me, UHD 4K quality works no problem with that USB 3 port. Speaking of that USB port, and back to the whole, only having a 10100 megabit Ethernet connection, you can buy this very inexpensive Ugreen USB hub with Ethernet, with gigabit Ethernet port. And by doing this, you will connect it to that USB 3 port on the device, and then you have 3 more USB ports that you can connect whatever you'd like to, and a gigabit Ethernet port at the end. So you can still get full benefit out of gigabit Ethernet on this device by adding this inexpensive box. Link in the description below. The next feature I'm kind of on the fence about. In fact, I'm not sure that it's really ready for prime time, and that is the built-in speaker. Now, I've done some testing on this. In fact, I didn't even know it had a built-in speaker until after I was playing with this for a while, and I inadvertently disconnected the HDMI port from the device, and I said, "Hey, Google something or other," and it answered me, and I'm like, "Where did that noise come from?" And then that's when I noticed that it had a speaker built in. However, the speaker really doesn't do that much. In fact, you can't play music through it that I've been able to tell. You can ask it things. It seems to me, now again, I haven't fully tested this thing in and out, but it seems to me that the speaker will work if you physically disconnect the HDMI cable from the device, and then whenever you ask it something, it will answer you through the speakers. However, if your HDMI cable is connected to the device and your TV is on, you're never going to hear anything out of the speaker. Whatever you ask it is just going to pop on the screen. Here's a little demonstration to show you what I'm talking about. Hey Google, what time is it? Hey Google, tell me a joke.
How does Darth Vader like his chocolate? On the dark side.
Hey Google, play me a song on Spotify.
Got it music on Spotify. Here you go.
Hey Google, do you only talk when your HDMI cable is disconnected? I guess so. So this is where I'd really like to hear from you in the comments down below the video. Let me know what you think about this speaker. Is it a waste of time? Am I doing something wrong? Is there more to it than what I'm seeing? Because I just don't get it. The next feature is an upgrade from just Wi-Fi 2.4 or 5 to Wi-Fi 6, which is pretty significant. Now, this is not Wi-Fi 6E, which is the latest and greatest, but Wi-Fi 6 is still a pretty significant upgrade versus just Wi-Fi 5G. Basically, 2.4G was great for distance, but not so great on speed. 5G is great on speed, but not so much for distance. So Wi-Fi 6 kind of puts together both of those, kind of gives you further distance and higher speed versus, either of those other two all on their own. And then also Wi-Fi 6 also has the capability of supporting multiple devices using, some pretty high bandwidth without affecting each other. That's sort of the benefits of Wi-Fi 6. You can read up on it, Google it all you want. But for the most part, 6 is going to be better than 5. Of course, that's only if you have a Wi-Fi 6 router or mesh network in your house. The next feature to talk about is a big one, pun intended. 32 gigs of internal storage versus 8 on the previous model. So they've quadrupled the storage available on this 4K Pro streaming box. And that is always a good thing. I can't tell you how many videos I've made about how to add storage to these devices, whether it's the Fire Stick or the Android TV or the Google TV boxes. 32 gigs, I feel probably should be more than enough to add just about all the apps that you'd want on this device. Speaking of all those apps that you can install on this device, including especially those third-party apps, it couldn't come at a better time because IPVanish just put on one of their biggest sales that they've done in quite a long time. To help you stay connected and protected, IPVanish is running a big sale right now, up to 83% off for the 2-year version, and it comes with 3 months free. Same thing goes for the 1-year subscription, down to $279 a month, plus 3 months for free. I don't know how long this is lasting, but I would suggest if you are in the market for a VPN, this is the one I use and recommend to keep you protected online while streaming and also on all of your other devices as well. Cell phone, tablet, computer, and so on. All of your devices are supported, and you can run IPVanish on all of them with a single subscription. Clicking on one of those links in the description below also helps to support the CordcuttersLI channel, so I really appreciate that. The last couple of features or upgrades are basically a slightly better processor. This one has the Cortex A55 processor, as the other one, the older version, has the Cortex A35. Same GPU. And then last but not least is the device has 3 gigs of RAM instead of 2. So a slight improvement there. Okay, so there you go. A bunch of new upgraded features that they've added to this 4K Pro streaming device from Walmart. This device is still very, very new, and it's not even available in all the stores yet. So time will tell. Once a bunch of people get these and really put them through, all these tests and things, we're going to see how well this device actually does perform compared to the old device, and then also compared to, other devices like the Fire Sticks and other Android and Google TV devices as well. I'd really like to see a lively comment section down below the video on this one. For starters, did you get one of these yet? Have you tried to get them and you can't get them? I know they're not available everywhere. It took a lot of driving around to a lot of Walmarts for me to find this device. For that matter, if you're not interested in this, if you don't think these features are worth the extra few bucks, I'd like you to tell me that down there below as well. Anyway, so there's my list of the upgraded features for the ON 4K Pro streaming device from Walmart. If you enjoyed anything you saw here today, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, share this and all of your favorite CordcuttersLI videos with your friends. This not only helps to get my videos shown to more people on YouTube, it also helps to support the channel. Thanks so much for watching.